Picture this. Glasgow in the 80s, a city riddled with poverty and unemployment, breeding grounds for a young man with ice in his veins. This is the story of Jamie the Iceman Stevenson, a name that once echoed through the streets, whispered with fear and respect. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we delve deep into the lives of history's most fascinating criminals. Today we're taking you on a journey through the Scottish underworld. We'll uncover the secrets behind Stevenson's rise to power, his ruthless tactics, and the web of crime he spun across an entire city. You'll learn how he built a drug empire, amassed a fortune, and ultimately met his downfall in a dramatic takedown. This isn't just some fictional tale. We've dug through police records, court documents, and exclusive interviews to bring you the true story of Scotland's notorious gangster. But there's a twist you won't see coming. Stay tuned to discover the surprising connection between Stevenson's empire and a shipment of bananas. Hit that like button if you're ready to dive into the world of organized crime, and don't forget to subscribe for more true crime stories. Jamie Stevenson's story began in the unforgiving streets of North Glasgow, a place where poverty cast a long shadow and opportunities were few and far between. Imagine a young Jamie navigating a landscape of derelict buildings, witnessing firsthand the despair and frustration that permeated his community. Surrounded by deprivation and a sense of hopelessness, it's perhaps no surprise that he, like many others, turned to crime at an early age. He started small, engaging in petty theft to make ends meet. But Jamie wasn't content with just scraping by. He possessed a burning ambition, a desire to rise above his circumstances and achieve something more. This drive, combined with a natural cunning and a chilling lack of empathy, propelled him quickly up the criminal ladder. He graduated to more serious offenses, involving himself in robberies, assaults, and eventually the lucrative world of drug dealing. With each successful crime, Jamie's reputation grew. He became known for his cold-blooded demeanor, his ability to remain calm and calculated under pressure, even in the face of extreme violence. He earned the nickname the Iceman, a chilling moniker that reflected his ruthless efficiency and his ability to detach himself from the consequences of his actions. He was fearless, ambitious, and driven to succeed, even if it meant breaking every law in the book. He was a force to be reckoned with, a rising star in Glasgow's criminal underworld, and his journey to becoming a kingpin was just beginning. Stevenson's criminal enterprise revolved around the lucrative drug trade. He recognized the immense profits to be made from supplying the ever-growing demand for illicit substances. With a shrewd business sense and a ruthless determination, he established a vast network of suppliers and distributors, sourcing high-quality heroin, cocaine, and other drugs from across the globe. These substances flooded the streets of Glasgow, fueling addiction and wreaking havoc on vulnerable communities. But Stevenson wasn't just a businessman, he was a ruthless enforcer. He understood that maintaining control of his empire required more than just supply and demand. He operated with an iron fist, using violence and intimidation to eliminate rivals and maintain his grip on the market. Those who crossed him or threatened his operation faced swift and brutal consequences. His reputation for violence preceded him, instilling fear in both his enemies and those who worked for him. His empire brought him immense wealth, allowing him to live a life of luxury, indulging in expensive cars, lavish properties, and a lifestyle far removed from the poverty of his youth. However, this wealth came at a devastating cost to his city, as countless lives were destroyed by the addiction and despair fueled by his trade. Stevenson wasn't just a drug lord. He diversified his criminal portfolio, venturing into money laundering, extortion, and even legitimate businesses as a front for his illegal activities. He cultivated connections with corrupt officials, ensuring protection and turning a blind eye to his operations. At his peak, Stevenson's influence permeated every level of Glasgow society. What are your thoughts on the role of corruption in organized crime? Share your opinions in the comments below. Despite his seemingly untouchable status, cracks began to appear in Stevenson's carefully constructed empire. Years of unchecked criminal activity had attracted the attention of law enforcement. Increased police scrutiny, driven by a growing public outcry over the impact of Stevenson's drug trade, began to disrupt his operations. Surveillance intensified, informants emerged from the shadows, and a series of high-profile arrests of key members of his network sent shockwaves through his organization. Internal power struggles further weakened Stevenson's grip on the underworld. As his empire grew, so did the ambition of those who worked for him. Rival factions emerged, vying for control and challenging his authority. Betrayals and infighting became commonplace, eroding the loyalty and trust that had once held his organization together. The Iceman, once feared and respected, was starting to feel the heat. The walls were closing in, and the once impenetrable fortress he had built was beginning to crumble. For years, Jamie the Iceman Stevenson seemed untouchable. He operated with impunity, believing his empire was impervious to the efforts of law enforcement. But the tide was about to turn, and it would come from the most unexpected of sources: a shipment of bananas. The beginning of the end came with Operation Escalade, a meticulously planned and executed law enforcement operation that targeted organized crime across Scotland. This operation, a culmination of years of intelligence gathering and surveillance, was triggered by a seemingly innocuous event: the interception of a shipment of bananas at a Scottish port. However, these weren't your ordinary bananas. Hidden within the crates, cleverly concealed amongst the fruit, were packages of cocaine, destined for Stevenson's network. This discovery proved to be the key that unlocked Stevenson's empire. It provided law enforcement with the evidence they needed to launch a full-scale assault on his organization. Raids were conducted across the country, leading to the seizure of drugs, weapons, and vast sums of money. The operation exposed the true extent of Stevenson's criminal network, revealing his connections to corrupt officials, international drug cartels, and a web of illicit businesses. The evidence gathered during Operation Escalade was overwhelming. Stevenson, the once untouchable kingpin, was finally arrested and charged with a multitude of offenses, including drug trafficking, money laundering, and extortion. He was found guilty and sentenced to 12 years in prison, a significant victory for law enforcement and a major blow to organized crime in Scotland. Who would have thought that something as mundane as a shipment of bananas could bring down a crime lord? It's a testament to the dedication and perseverance of the officers involved in Operation Escalade, and a reminder that even the most sophisticated criminal empires can be toppled. Let us know in the comments if you were surprised by this twist. Did you ever imagine that fruit could play such a pivotal role in a criminal investigation? Stevenson's imprisonment marked the end of an era in Glasgow's underworld. He was sentenced to 12 years, a significant blow to organized crime in Scotland. However, his legacy is complex. While his actions caused immense harm, some argue he also provided a sense of order in a chaotic environment. Regardless, his story serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of a life of crime. What are your thoughts on Stevenson's legacy? Was he a ruthless criminal or a product of his environment? Share your perspectives in the comments section. Today we explored the rise and fall of Jamie the Iceman Stevenson, a notorious gangster who ruled Glasgow's underworld for 2 decades. We witnessed his ascent from petty thief to powerful kingpin, the extent of his criminal empire, and the dramatic operation that led to his downfall. Stevenson's story is a cautionary tale of ambition, greed, and the allure of power. It's a reminder that even the most formidable empires can crumble, and that justice, though sometimes slow, often prevails. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more captivating content, and click the link on the screen to watch more videos.